All right, my name is Mr. Quinn. I just want to tell you a little about how I got to my black belt. I started off here at Action because my girls started. I have twin girls. They're now 9, and they just achieved their junior black belt, so I'm very proud of them. But I didn't start at the same time that they did. I started a couple months later, and me and my wife decided that we wanted to do some kind of activity together, and said, you know, since the girls are going, why don't we try it? It'll be fun. So we started together. And I remember my first class as a white belt, and I remember we did short 1, and I was so lost. I felt so embarrassed because people are turning like all different directions, and I didn't know what's going on. So I remember what it was like. I remember that first class. But we eventually made it to purple belt, and then my wife decided that, you know what, she wanted to do something else. She was really interested in Zumba. Some of her friends did it. So she made a decision to stop, and then I had a crossroads to come to myself. Since it was an activity we started to do together, it felt a little weird for her to go do something else and me to stay, but I decided that I really liked it, and I decided to go on and actually commit to the black belt agenda. So I had a lot of trials on the way. A lot of missed classes, a lot of opportunities that fell through the cracks, and I'll share with you with one which is probably my greatest failure and also the greatest source of accomplishment for me, and that was when I was going to promote from brown to red belt, and I had changed jobs and I'd gotten a new schedule, and actually the new schedule was more convenient to come to karate. However, I just never made it to class. And honestly, there were times where I could have made it to class, and I just didn't. I just said, I don't feel like going. And I went through a period of time where I went through that for quite a while. And I was making up classes with some private lessons. And when you get, you know, you can make them up quick with private lessons, but you're only going for once a week. You're not really getting to hang out with you guys. You're not mixing with the other people. You're not learning in the same environment. You're not getting the same workout. So when it came time to promote, I actually had enough checks to promote. But I actually decided that I actually didn't feel like I deserved my red belt, and I think it was an important step for me personally to actually wait and recommit myself. And then when I tested for when I promoted to my red belt, I felt such a sense of accomplishment and pride that I didn't take the easy way out, that I actually put in the extra work, so that, you know, when you go through your belts, only you know what your belt means to you, and I can only tell you that red belt meant a lot to me, because not only did I fail, it's not just about failing. Like, I failed, yeah, I didn't do the work for it, but I got back up and I actually put the work in, and now I feel better about my red belt than if I actually just went to all my classes and got it. So setting your goals and not making them is not the worst thing. You just have to set your own goal, whether it is like a broad goal of black belt or maybe your next belt or your next stripe. You know, your goal is not necessarily going to be the same goal as the person next to you. Sometimes when I was going through this, black belt seems like so far off, like it's not achievable. And that way, that's when you really have to compartmentalize your goals and take it one step at a time. And then it doesn't seem like so bad, even if your goal is just to make the next class. And that's kind of how I went about from that point. After I rededicated myself, I set my goals, even that they were small ones, just to make it to classes again, to rededicate. And then, you know, like I said, failing is not the end all and be all. It depends on what you do with it. Like that, I missed 3 promotions on my journey to black belt. But looking back on it, I wouldn't trade any of it. I think it was a great learning experience, and you know, learning from your mistakes has taught me to be a better person, a better martial artist. So that was my story of black belt.